Okay, so have you ever felt like you're doing all the right things to lose weight, but the scale just won't budge?
Oh, absolutely.
It's like you're stuck in this weight loss rut.
Yeah.
You start to think maybe it's impossible,
Right.
but trust me, you are so not alone.
Yeah.
And today, we are diving deep into 10 kind of sneaky reasons why you might not be seeing the results that you want.
Okay.
And here's the thing. We're going beyond just diet and exercise today.
Okay.
We're going to uncover those hidden culprits
Yeah.
that could be like silently sabotaging your efforts.
It's true. Weight loss is way more complex than we often give it credit for.
Right,
It's not just calories in, calories out.
right.
Our hormones, habits, even just our mindset can play a really big role.
I'm so ready to get into this.
Yeah.
So let's start with something that I think a lot of us consider the holy grail of weight loss,
Okay.
exercise. We've been told, like forever, that to lose weight, we need to sweat it out, right?
Right.
But what if I told you that exercise alone might not be enough?
It's a super common misconception.
Really?
Yeah, that we can just exercise our way to weight loss when really it's so important for our overall well-being.
Right.
It is surprisingly difficult to burn enough calories
Oh, wow.
through exercise alone to actually make a big difference on the scale.
So all those hours on the treadmill, maybe not the magic bullet.
Yeah, maybe not a magic bullet.
So what's the science behind that? Why is that?
So our bodies, right, they're incredibly adaptable.
Okay.
So when we first start a new workout routine, yeah, we might burn a good amount of calories. But as we get fitter, our body actually becomes more efficient, meaning we burn fewer calories doing the same workout.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, it's like your body's like, hey, I got this figured out.
I don't need to work so hard anymore.
Exactly.
So we have to constantly be like challenging ourselves to keep our bodies guessing.
Yeah, it's really about pushing your limits and doing something different, constantly changing it up.
That makes sense. But what kind of exercise then is best for weight loss?
So the research we have here suggests that you want a good mix,
Okay.
like a mix of cardio and interval training.
Okay.
And they say aim for at least 5 days a week of cardio, about 30 minutes each session.
Okay.
Things like brisk walking, jogging, swimming, biking.
Yeah.
But here's where it gets interesting.
Okay.
To really boost your calorie burn, they say, incorporate interval training 2-3 times a week.
Oh, yeah.
And this involves short bursts of high-intensity effort followed by, periods of recovery.
So we have to kind of push ourselves out of our comfort zone
Yeah, exactly.
to really see those results.
Yeah, you'll definitely feel a bigger difference when you incorporate interval training versus just steady cardio.
Now, what about strength training?
Okay.
Is that just for building muscle?
Well, you are building muscle, but strength training is so important for weight loss
Okay.
because it helps you build that muscle, and the more muscle you have, the higher your resting metabolic rate. Meaning, you're going to burn more calories even when you aren't working out.
So it's like almost like a calorie burning machine even while you're sleeping.
Kinda, yeah, exactly.
The research also mentions circuit training.
Yes.
What is that? And is that a good way to combine both?
So circuit training is basically where you move from one exercise to the next with very little rest in between.
Okay.
It's going to keep your heart rate elevated, and you're working different muscle groups simultaneously.
Okay.
So you're not only burning calories, but you're improving your overall fitness, and it also helps prevent boredom.
Yeah, for sure. All right, so we have to be smart about our exercise routine.
Yeah.
We got to challenge ourselves consistently and incorporate both cardio and strength training.
Absolutely.
Now, this next reason, this kind of blew my mind.
Okay.
It turns out that lack of sleep can really hinder your weight loss journey.
It's true.
And I always thought it was just about, maybe you feel more tired, so you move less. But the research suggests there's more to it.
There is, and it's a big one. Yeah.
Yeah.
What is it?
It's your hormones. Sleep deprivation can really wreak havoc on your hormones,
Yeah.
particularly cortisol,
Oh, okay.
which plays a key role in regulating your appetite.
Oh, okay. So if I'm not getting enough sleep, my cortisol levels are all out of whack.
Exactly.
And that makes me feel more hungry.
It does.
So I'm not just making up that late night craving for ice cream.
You're not.
That's real.
Yeah. When you're sleep deprived, your body produces more cortisol.
Okay.
And this can lead to an increased appetite and even a preference for those high-calorie, sugary foods.
Ugh, it's like your body is craving that quick energy boost
Yeah.
to make up for that lack of sleep.
Absolutely.
Wow. I had no idea the connection was so strong.
It is.
I definitely feel that urge to reach for those sugary snacks when I'm tired.
Yeah.
So getting enough sleep is like a secret weapon for weight loss.
Pretty much, yeah. Adequate sleep is going to help regulate your hormones. It's going to stabilize your appetite
Okay.
and even improve your energy levels, for working out. All right, sleep officially on my priority list. But speaking of things that throw our bodies off balance, let's talk about stress.
Okay.
I mean, we all experience it in some way, but could stress actually be making it harder to lose weight?
It can, and it does. Remember cortisol.
Yeah.
Chronic stress actually keeps those levels elevated, and that can lead to increased belly fat storage.
Ugh. Belly fat, I think we all have like a love-hate relationship
For sure.
with that area.
Yeah.
But is it really worse than fat in other areas of our bodies?
Unfortunately, it is.
Really?
Yeah. So abdominal fat, also known as visceral fat,
Okay.
is more metabolically active, and it's linked to a higher risk of heart disease, type 2 diabetes,
Oh, wow.
and even certain cancers.
Okay, that's a serious wake-up call.
Yeah.
So managing stress isn't just about like feeling better mentally. It's crucial for our physical health
Yeah.
and managing our weight too. So what are some effective ways that we can combat stress?
So one of the things that they recommend is, incorporate relaxation techniques into your daily routine, things like deep breathing,
Okay.
meditation, maybe just spending some time in nature.
I love that.
Yeah, all those things can really significantly reduce stress levels.
It's like finding those pockets of calm
It is.
amidst the chaos.
Mm-hmm.
And I've also heard that massage can be super helpful for stress relief too.
Absolutely, because it can reduce muscle tension, lower those cortisol levels, even improve your sleep.
So basically, like pampering ourselves is not just a luxury, it's like an investment
It is.
in our health.
It is.
Okay, I'm all for that.
Good.
Now, let's move on to a topic that can be a little sensitive.
Okay.
Calorie intake. I know nobody likes counting calories,
Right.
but it's a reality we can't completely ignore when it comes to weight loss, right?
You're right. It can be a touchy subject, but it's not necessarily about like meticulously tracking every single calorie.
Right.
It's more about building awareness of what you're consuming.
Okay.
One of the things they recommend is that you try a little experiment. Keep a food journal for a week and don't change your eating habits,
Okay.
but just write down everything you eat and drink.
I actually tried that once.
Yeah.
And it was eye-opening. I
Yeah.
realized I was snacking way more than I thought I was.
Yeah.
And all those mindless bites were really adding up.
Yeah, and it's often those hidden calories that we don't realize
Right.
that are really sabotaging our efforts. And then another thing to consider
Okay.
is portion sizes, especially when you're eating at restaurants.
Oh, yeah.
They tend to be much larger than we actually need.
I'm so guilty of cleaning my plate,
Yeah,
even when I'm full. It's like I've been, conditioned to not waste food.
absolutely.
But I guess sometimes saving those calories, is doing our bodies a favor.
It is. It's all about finding that balance. And another thing to keep in mind is that our metabolism naturally declines as we age.
Right.
So if we aren't adjusting our calorie intake or, increasing our physical activity as we get older,
Yeah.
those extra pounds can really sneak up on us.
Okay, so that makes sense. I'm starting to see a pattern here.
Yeah.
It's not just about one thing. It's about all these different factors and how they kind of play together.
Right.
But speaking of things that change over time,
Right.
let's talk about consistency.
Okay.
I think we've all been there, where we start a new workout routine, a new diet, we have the best of intentions.
Yeah.
And then, life happens, motivation fizzles out. So how important is consistency, really?
Well, it's super important both with your exercise and eating healthy.
Okay.
When you're consistent with your workouts, your body is going to adapt, becoming more efficient,
Okay.
and you'll burn fewer calories doing the same exercises.
So it's like our bodies are always trying to outsmart us.
It's true. It's true.
Have to keep them on their toes.
You do. And when it comes to healthy eating, being consistent really helps you to create sustainable habits.
Right.
It's not about deprivation. It's about making gradual changes that you can stick with for a long time.
So finding a workout program that you actually enjoy and that fits into your lifestyle is key.
Absolutely.
The same with healthy eating habits.
Right.
It's about making choices that nourish your body and that you can realistically maintain.
Exactly.
But now, I have a confession to make.
Okay. Go on. I'm intrigued.
Okay, so I'm pretty good about sticking to my healthy routine during the week,
Okay.
but then come Friday night,
Yeah.
all bets are off.
Uh-huh.
It's like my willpower takes a weekend vacation.
Right.
And I know I'm not the only one that falls into this trap.
No, not at all.
The weekends can be such a challenge, I think, for weight loss.
The weekend trap, it's real.
It is. It's so real.
Yeah, we tend to let loose a little bit on the weekends, more
Yeah.
social events, richer foods,
For
and
sure.
maybe a few extra cocktails.
Yeah.
And while it's so important to, enjoy ourselves and have a life outside our weight loss goals,
Right.
those weekend indulgences can sometimes undo a week's worth of progress.
That's what I'm talking about. It's like I'm sabotaging myself without even realizing it.
Yeah,
But I need those weekend brunches
right.
and dinners with friends.
Absolutely. So how do we find a way to still enjoy the weekend, but not derail our effort?
That's exactly what I was going to ask.
Yeah.
Is there a way to do both?
Well, the research says that, you should plan your indulgences ahead of time.
Okay.
So if you know that you're going out to a big dinner on Saturday night,
Yeah.
maybe, opt for lighter meals during the day
Yeah.
or try to squeeze in an extra workout.
I like that. That's a good tip.
Yeah.
It's about being mindful and making those choices instead of just like
Yes.
going with the flow and feeling guilty come Monday.
Exactly. And don't forget about non-food rewards.
Oh.
Weekends don't have to revolve around food.
Oh,
Maybe plan some activities that you enjoy that don't involve eating.
Yeah, like what?
Maybe go on a hike, explore a new museum,
Yeah.
catch a movie.
I like that. Shifting the focus from the food to the experience.
Exactly.
That's great. But speaking of shifting our focus, let's talk about patience.
Okay.
I think we live in a world of instant gratification these days.
Yeah, we do.
And we want to see results like that day.
Right.
But when it comes to weight loss, patience is key.
It really is. We're bombarded with all these quick fix solutions and before and after pictures
Oh, yeah.
that make it seem like weight loss can happen overnight.
Right.
But the reality is, healthy, sustainable weight loss, it takes time.
The research mentions that a realistic and healthy rate of weight loss is, 1 to 2 pounds per week.
Right.
But I think we get discouraged so easily
We do.
if we don't see the scale moving drastically every week.
Yeah. It's important to remember that weight loss isn't always linear.
What does that mean?
So there are going to be weeks that you might lose more, weeks that you lose less,
Okay.
and some weeks the scale might not move at all.
So those plateaus are normal.
Totally normal. And they can happen for a variety of reasons, maybe hormonal fluctuations,
Right.
water retention, or even just changes in your workout routine.
So we shouldn't freak out
Do not freak out.
if we hit a plateau.
No. Trust the process, stay consistent, and remember, slow and steady wins the race.
I like that.
No.
Okay, so now this brings us to a point I think often gets overlooked when we talk about weight loss.
Yeah.
And that is the possibility of underlying medical conditions.
Right. It's important to consider those.
Yeah, I know the research mentioned the thyroid disease specifically.
Yeah.
Can you explain how that can affect weight loss?
So your thyroid, right, it's a small butterfly-shaped gland in your neck.
Okay.
And it plays a big role in regulating your metabolism.
Okay.
So when your thyroid isn't functioning properly, it can lead to something called hypothyroidism,
Okay.
which basically means your metabolism slows down.
So even if you're like doing all the right things, eating healthy, exercising, if your metabolism's just like, nope.
Yeah, it's going to make it really hard to lose weight. Oh, wow. That's crazy.
It is. And it's not just thyroid issues.
Right.
Certain medications can contribute to weight gain too.
Like what?
Some antidepressants, antipsychotics,
Okay.
and even some types of birth control.
So if you think a medical condition might be, affecting your weight loss, it's important to talk to your doctor
Absolutely.
and figure out what's going on. Let's go back to those pesky weight loss plateaus, though.
Okay.
You're doing everything right, but the scale just won't budge.
Right.
What gives?
It can be so frustrating.
It is. You start to question everything you're doing.
You do, yeah.
Like, is it even worth it?
Yeah.
Is there a way to break through them and kind of get back on track?
There is. So one common reason for plateaus is workout adaptation.
Okay.
So our bodies are super efficient.
Right.
And over time, they become accustomed to our workouts and they burn fewer calories.
It's like our bodies get bored.
Yeah. They're like, okay, we've done this 100 times. We got it.
We know what's going on here. Yeah, so to break through this, you got to shake things up.
Okay.
Try a new workout class. Up the intensity or the duration of your routine.
Okay.
Or just add in some strength training.
So we have to keep our bodies guessing.
We do, yeah.
I like that. What are some other reasons we might hit a plateau?
Sometimes, and believe it or not,
Okay.
we're not eating enough.
What?
Yeah. So when you severely restrict calories, your body can go into starvation mode.
Okay.
And it's going to slow down your metabolism to conserve energy.
Wait, so eating too little can backfire?
It can.
I always thought the key was to eat as little as possible.
A lot of people think that, but while a calorie deficit is important,
Right.
you still need to make sure you're consuming enough to fuel your body and support your metabolism.
So it's about finding that balance.
It is.
Okay, what about overtraining? Can that lead to a plateau?
Absolutely. While exercise is crucial, too much of a good thing can backfire.
How so?
When you push yourself too hard without enough rest, it can lead to fatigue, muscle breakdown, and even hormonal imbalances,
Wow.
all of which can hinder weight loss.
So listening to your body and giving it that rest is just as important
It is.
as pushing yourself.
Uh,
Okay, I think this next point might be the most important one we talk about today.
okay.
It's about shifting our mindset
Yes.
and redefining our relationship with weight loss.
I love this because
Yeah.
one of the things they say is, what if you don't actually need to lose weight?
Whoa, that's a big question.
It is.
I think we often get so caught up
Yeah,
in, societal pressures and those unrealistic beauty standards.
absolutely.
We're striving for a certain number on the scale
Right.
without really thinking about if it's even healthy for us.
Exactly. So check in with yourself
Okay.
and ask yourself, why are you doing this?
Yeah.
Are you doing it for health reasons or because of external pressures?
Yeah.
And are you already at a healthy weight for your body type?
It's so important to remember that health and happiness don't always correlate
Mm.
with a specific size or weight.
It's true.
And sometimes the journey to better health starts with self-acceptance
Yeah.
and focusing on nourishing our bodies from the inside out.
And sometimes the healthiest thing we can do is let go of all those expectations and just embrace our bodies as they are.
Right. It's about finding that balance
Yeah.
between striving for improvement,
Uh-huh.
but also accepting ourselves unconditionally.
Exactly.
So as we wrap up this deep dive into, all the reasons you might not be losing weight,
Yeah.
what are some key takeaways you want our listener to remember?
Well, I think the biggest thing is that weight loss, it's a complex and individual journey.
Right.
There's no one-size-fits-all solution.
Right.
What works for one person might not work for another.
Okay, we've covered a lot of ground today.
We have.
From the science of exercise and, how many calories we burn
Yeah.
to the impact of sleep,
Yeah.
stress, even medical conditions.
It's so much more than
Right.
calories in, calories out.
Exactly. It's definitely not as simple as just eating less and moving more.
And I think knowledge is power.
Okay.
So by understanding that why
Yeah.
behind your weight loss struggles, you can make informed decisions
Right.
and create a plan that really works for you.
So what can our listener do with all this new knowledge? Where do they go from here?
Well, I would encourage you to take some time and just reflect on what resonated with you the most today,
Okay.
what surprised you,
Yeah.
what can you apply to your own life?
Okay.
Maybe it's prioritizing sleep
Right.
or finding those healthy ways to manage your stress,
Great.
or even just being more mindful of what you're eating.
Yeah. Even small changes can make a big difference, right?
Absolutely. It's about taking those insights and putting them into action.
And remember, you don't have to go through this alone.
You don't, talk to your doctor if you think there might be some underlying medical conditions,
Right.
or maybe reach out to a registered dietitian.
Right.
They can give you some more personalized guidance.
Yeah. And find a community of support
System.
to share your journey with.
We're all in this together, right?
We are.
Yeah.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, I want to leave you with one final thought.
Okay.
What's one small change you can make today, based on what you learned,
Yeah.
to move closer to your goals?
It could be as simple as going to bed 30 minutes earlier tonight,
Okay.
or taking a couple minutes to do some deep breathing during your lunch break,
Yeah.
or swapping out that sugary afternoon snack for a piece of fruit.
Progress over perfection.
Yeah. Yes.
Every step, no matter how small, it's a step in the right direction.
It is.
Well, that's it for today's deep dive into the 10 reasons you might not be losing weight.
Yes.
Hopefully you found this insightful and empowering.
I hope so.
And until next time, keep learning, keep growing, and keep striving for a healthier, happier you.
Absolutely.